In this video, I'm going to help you understand the difference between a relationship and a function. And the first thing that I thought I would do is show you this vending machine, because a vending machine is a very good example of what a function represents. So in a vending machine, you have an input. And typically when we are looking at an actual vending machine, your input is usually some sort of money. Now I know some vending machines now you can use your credit card, but still your input is to put the money into the machine. And then you select your item that you want to purchase, and what you get out is some sort of item. Now there's a lot of different kinds of vending machines. So the item you could cut out would be like, a Coke. But some vending machines that there are out there, you can buy actually like fruits and vegetables, so food, or some snacks like pretzels or a candy bar. So the vending machine is kind of the discussion of a good way visually to remember that the input is different than the output. And the input of a function is called your x value. And the values that you can put in is called the domain. And the outputs are the y values of a function, and those values that you get out make up what is called the range of the function. And so I want to talk to you about how you know your relationship represents this type of function. So first I'll kind of talk about it over here on your actual note sheet. So the first blank here on your paper says, any relationship between two variables is called a relation, but a function is a special kind of relationship between two quantities and that are called your input and your output. Now there is another word that we can use for input and output, and this would be your independent variable which is normally the x, and then your dependent variable, which is normally called the letter y. So in this function here, we see your inputs going into the function are the numbers 0, 1, 2, and 3, and after the function is done, so when whatever your function needs to do, this case we're multiplying by 5, we get outputs here of 0, 5, 10, and 15. So for number 3 here it says, for each input there is exactly one output, and more than one input can have the same output. And then number 5, another way to describe the function above is by using an input-output table. So our input is our x's and our output is y's. So when we would input the number 0, the first value, we got out a first value of 0. And the second value that we put in was 1. When we did our function, which was multiply by 5, the second value we got out was the number 5. And our third value that we put in was a 3. And after we multiply by 5, we get out a, oops, I skipped my 2. Let me fix that. 2 comes before 3, doesn't it? When I put in the number 2, I got out the number 10, and then my last input of 3, when we multiply by 5, we get our last value here of 15. So the collection, then, of all of your inputs is called domain, which is really the values, the numbers, and the output values is called range. Now what makes this type of function an actual function, not just a special relationship, so if you have a relation, you know you have a function, which is a special kind of relationship, if none of your x values repeat. And since 0, 1, 2, and 3 are all different values and none of these are a repeating value, we do have a functioning relationship.